Hey guys! I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Boom Shikha and I welcome you to my channel. I'm so grateful that you guys are listening, subscribing, and commenting on my channel. I appreciate the support. In this video, I wanted to speak to you guys about mind control and unworthiness and how those are absolutely associated with each other. This might be a little bit of a conspiracy theory kind of video, but I really don't want it to be like that. I'm not saying this as a conspiracy theorist. I don't want us to become paranoid about everything. I want us to realize or believe that there's good in humanity and good in the world, in mankind, and not everyone is out to get us. I don't want to live like that. I really don't want to live like that. But I also don't want to be naive, which I can be, or innocent about things, and realize that there are certain things going on in this world that are not for our higher good, okay? And so I want to live from that balanced perspective that yes, people are good, mankind's great, amazing, good things happen all the time. And yes, terrible things will sometimes happen as well, and there are people and things and organizations out there that are trying to control us so they can sell us more stuff, so we can buy more, so we can be in more debt, and so we can continue that vicious cycle of the rat race forever and ever and ever, right? And so in this video, as I said, I wanted to focus on mind control and worthiness. Now, the main tenet of anything or anyone who's trying to sell you something, it might be an organization, it might be a culture, it might be a religious system, whatever it might be, anytime they're trying to sell you an idea or a thought process or a belief system or anything, like any stuff, any consumeristic item, anytime anyone's trying to sell you something, they're doing it from the same perspective. Every single marketing campaign has the same basis to it. It's the same thing that's over and over again that says to you in no exact terms, sometimes inexact terms, but usually in no exact terms, that you are not good enough as you are right now. So you're not good enough as you are right now. No matter what you're doing, no matter how you are, even if you are good enough or not, in every marketing campaign, in every one of those scenarios where they're trying to sell you something, they're telling you this thing, that you are not good enough in some shape or form, right? You're too fat, you're too thin, you're too intelligent, you're too smart, you're not smart enough. Your hair is too long, your hair is not long enough, your hair is too curly, it's too straight. You're too black, you're too white, you're too brown, you're too, I don't know, not colored enough, right? And so there's like a billion different things that are coming, messages that are coming at us all the time, sometimes subliminally, oh God, and sometimes directly, right? And so sometimes directly they'll be like, you're not good enough. So if you buy my product, you're going to be good enough, right? And a lot of car ads and a lot of Coke ads are all based on that. You know, if you drink Coke, you're going to be surrounded by all these beautiful people doing cool things, having fun, smiling and laughing all the time. The same thing with car ads. They're always draped over with these beautiful women, and they're telling men that if you buy this car, you're going to have beautiful women around you all the time, wanting you, desiring you, wanting to be around you. And so every one of those ad campaigns, every one of those marketing campaigns, no matter what they're trying to sell you, it's exactly the same thing. You're not good enough as you are in this moment in time. But if you bought my product, perhaps, you will get to that point where you are good enough. Perhaps. Or if you bought it over and over and over and over again, perhaps you'll get there, right? And so that's a great thing. It's a good thing. It's very easy to control someone. It's very easy to control human beings by telling them this exact message. It's very easy to control any human being, and I am part of that. As soon as someone says you're not good enough as you are right now in this moment, you're not good enough. You're just not good. You're not worthy of who you are. You're not worthy of the space. You're not worthy of the food that you eat, the air you breathe. But if you did this, if you did this specific thing, if you traveled to Greece, or if you bought that piece of cloth, or that jumpsuit, or if you bought that phone, you would be good enough, right? And so everything related to mind control is always related to unworthiness, that you are not good enough, but if you did what we tell you to do, you will be good enough. Now, again, it doesn't necessarily have to only do with consumerism, although a lot of what that we're subjected to, mind control, is related to consumerism. Perhaps mind control is a little bit too scary of a term for you guys. I understand. Marketing perhaps would be an easier term to digest. But basically, it is just mind control, because they cannot make you do something unless they actually are controlling your thoughts, right? Unless they actually tell you, you're doing this wrong and we are going to control your thoughts and switch them so that you do something else, they can't actually make you do anything. Because you are the owner and the master, hopefully, of your thoughts, right? You're the master of your emotions, should be at least, or hopefully you are. You're the master of your thoughts, hopefully again. You're the master of your body. You are the master of anything that is associated with you. Of course, you're not the master of the air that you breathe or the land that you live in unless you own the land. And even then, you just own the first, like the topsoil or something like that. I read somewhere. So the bottom part, like if someone finds oil on your land, the bottom part is not owned by you, so they can claim it. Apparently that's what I read. Again, I might be mistaken. So really, there's very few things we own in our life, and our thoughts, our emotions, and our body mostly. Even I think our bodies are owned by the state. In the US, I think your body is owned by the state. So it's not you don't even own your own body. The only thing that you actually really have control over is your thoughts and your emotions, right? Anything chemically based. And so if you are not taking care of controlling and mastering your thoughts and letting other people come into your head and shit in your head, as I said, or change up your thoughts by telling you you're not good enough and mind controlling you, if basically that's the essence of it, then you are letting go of that control over your mind, and you're letting it go to all these people that perhaps don't have the best interest in their minds, in their hearts for you, right? They just don't have the best interests. Perhaps. I don't know who you're dealing with exactly, but I would say that if they're trying to sell you something, they probably don't have the best interest in their heart for you, right? Now, a lot of this has to do also with belief systems and religion and politics and all of those philosophical paradigms as well. It doesn't necessarily, as I said, have to only do with consumerism, right? It has to do with the fact that religions use this to sell you stuff all the time as well, or to sell their beliefs. For example, you're not good enough. You're not good enough. You're a bad human being. You've done horrible things. But if you were following our religion, we will get you to heaven. We will get you to the ultimate divine goodness that is there out there, right? And so if you do what we tell you to do, because you're not good enough as you are right now, if you are just a typical human being, you're probably a horrible human being, you're doing terrible things, you're going to hell for sure. Right? But if you follow our paradigms, our belief systems, and you give us a lot of money, then you'll be fine. You're not going to go to hell. You're going to go to heaven, and there's going to be 1,000 virgins waiting for you in heaven, or whatever it might be, right? Now, I'm mixing up a bunch of different religions here because I don't want to point fingers at one. That's basically the essence of religion. That's how they sell it to you. You're not good enough right now, right? The same thing with education as well. And that's one of the reasons I hate universities. I dislike traditional schooling systems so much. I was in them for the longest time, and the more I look back upon it, I think those were the biggest wastes of my life, the biggest waste of my time. If I ever had a child, I would recommend to him or her that he or she do not go to university or waste their time unless they actually absolutely know that that's something they want to do. And so I would recommend to them, take a couple of years off. Travel. I don't care what you do. Go work, go travel, go do something else. Figure out exactly what you want to do. And if university comes into play, then go. But do not just do it because everyone else is doing it, which is what I did. Anyways, I can rant about that forever. And so, again, university, same thing. You're not good enough as you are. You're not going to get a job. You're going to be stuck doing some job, as a construction worker where you're not going to make a lot of money, which is the absolute false, is an absolute lie, because construction workers make a lot of money, and manual labor, if you want to call it, or technicians, electrical workers, or that kind of laborious jobs are some of the best paid jobs in the world right now. So anyways, I'm not going to get into that again. All right, this is becoming a little bit of a rant. So again, educational systems. If you don't come to our university and if you don't get this degree, then you're going to be destitute. You're going to go bankrupt. You're not going to make any money. You're not going to find a job. Everyone's going to hate you. Your family is going to think you're an idiot, and they're going to ostracize you, and you're going to be lying in a ditch somewhere in a gutter, miserable and broke. Right? That's basically the essence of what they're selling us. And so we go to university and we're like, all right, no, I don't want to be hated by everyone. I want to fit in. I want my family to love me. I want them to be pleased by me. I want them to be proud of me. And so I'm going to go to university. I'm going to spend thousands of dollars and get into debt for it, right? So that's, again, it doesn't necessarily have to do, as I said, with consumerism. Although I would say that educational systems nowadays are sort of consumerism. I notice a lot of people are just using it as a sort of getting away from reality. So they kind of jump from degree to degree. I know some people who have 5 degrees and they've just been getting one diploma or one degree after another. And I'm thinking to myself, why? Why all of these random degrees? Unless you actually absolutely need it, which they don't, because a lot of them are unrelated to each other. They're just kind of jumping from school to school. They go and get a law degree, and then they're becoming a doctor, and then I'm just like, what are you doing with yourself? And basically, it's a way of running away from reality, right? Because as soon as you finish school, you have to go back and you have to live the real world, in the real world. Whereas educational systems they're selling that sort of life where you can escape from reality for a long period of time if you want to. Thankfully, I don't have to do that anymore. Phew. I just, as you guys can tell, again, all right, so educational systems as well, religious systems, even I would imagine a lot of times veganism or vegetarianism or gluten-free or all these fad diets are coming up, and everyone's like, oh my God, I'm a vegan, or I'm gluten-free, or I'm celiac, or I'm all this stuff. Now, I'm not saying that they're not necessarily like that, but a lot of it has to do with mind control as well, and it has to do with I wouldn't say brainwashing necessarily, because veganism is it's good for the environment, it's good for the planet, and I totally advocate for it. Same thing with gluten-free. I understand, I've gone through it and I've become gluten-free, and I realize how positive an effect it has on my body. So not necessarily all of them, but sometimes I kind of wonder if these are just marketing campaigns just created by random organizations to sell more shit to us, right? So it's all right if you're vegan and you're just buying, if you're just eating vegetables, right? Like just normal food. But a lot of times what happens is that as soon as you jump on these bandwagons, you start buying all of these products that have been built for that particular consumer group, right? So gluten-free is a big one for that. There's a lot of expensive gluten-free products out there, whereas basically the essence of it is to avoid any kind of wheat. So just don't eat pasta, bread, or anything like that. Just eat rice and vegetables and meat, or if you eat meat, and that's being gluten-free. But most people, what they do is that they kind of start going and buying all these gluten-free items and spending hundreds of dollars on it, again in a sort of consumeristic manner, whereas I feel it's a lot of mind control again, right? So I'm not, again, as I said, I don't want us to be paranoid about everything. I don't want to be like, oh my God, everyone's against me, because it's very easy to get into that mindset. The main thing about all of this is to realize that you are good enough as you are. You are absolutely good enough as you are, because you are here, and the universe tried and worked very hard to put you here. So the universe is saying that you're good enough, so you are good enough. And you're good enough as you are. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to cut your hair. You don't need to grow your hair. You don't need to buy this thing. You don't need to go to this temple. You don't need to do anything in order to be worthy. You are already worthy as you are. And if you are going to go into any of these paradigms or belief systems or anything like that, just be critically thinking about it before doing it. Just use your brain a little bit. Don't let them control your mind without actually even putting any effort into it. And I know it can be a little bit difficult sometimes, because it's just easy to give in. I just don't want to think about it. I'm lazy. I don't want to think about it. I just want to give in. I understand that. But there is so much information out there, and you can do your own research. And then if you still believe in that system, go for it, right? As long as you've done your critical thinking and your analysis and your research, you are allowed to believe and follow any system that you wish to, right? You are a free human being. You're allowed to do what you want. But as long as someone else is not feeding you that information, as long as you're actually thinking about it critically and realizing it on your own, right? That's why I hate it when people try to pull me in a certain direction, because I'm like, no, I'm going to do my own research, and if I like it, I will follow you. But if I don't, I won't. But I need to do my own research. I need to do my own critical thinking over something before saying yes or no to it. Okay? Again, I hope this makes sense. I don't want, as I said, I don't want to become conspiracy theorist. I really don't like that. I don't want us to be paranoid. I don't want us to be looking over our shoulder all the time. I want us to be critical thinkers, realizing that we are good enough as we are. We don't need to do anything in order to become worthy. If you guys have any questions about this topic or any other topic, please message me anytime. If you have any other topics that you want to suggest to me, obviously message me as well. All my contact information is in the description below. And I shall see you guys the next time around. Bye for now.